Hey guys, it's Eric here at Farpoint Farms, and check it out. The fine folks over at the President Corporation have decided to gift me with this fine looking radio right here. It's the President Walker III. I ran the President Walker II for years in my T100 Toyota pickup truck. Great radio. I called it the Cobra 29 killer. And now, well, it's in a class all its own because it's the first of its size to be FM capable. And so we're going to do an unboxing, and I'll hook it up and we'll take a look at some of the features and functions tonight. I'm trying to figure out what I should put this in. This is a great radio. Should I put it in the bus? Should I put it in the Super Beetle? Where should I put it? I'll leave it to you guys. You can leave comments in the descriptions below here and let me know where you think it ought to be. Or should I put it right along here? Should I replace one of my AM radios and give it a spot so that I have full-time FM reception here in the shed? Let me know. But let's get the camera closer in. Let's go ahead. Let's take a look at this thing. We'll unbox it. We'll go through the features and functions. And of course, we will listen to it because Skip is rolling like crazy. It's also like the 10-meter contest this weekend, or something's going on 10-meter. And while this isn't a 10-meter radio, you know how us CB guys are, man. We just can't let that stuff alone. So we're just going to play too, right? So a lot of DX contests going on right now, a lot of long-distance contact attempts being made, so who knows who we might hear on the radio tonight. Let's do it. And here it is, the President Walker III FCC AM with FM. So that is the big improvement, that's the big upgrade over the Walker II. Walker II is also a great radio, so don't feel like you're suddenly left out in the dark, but adding FM certainly does help, and you can see the little FM symbol there. This one does come with a lot of their great features here. Automatic squelch control. There's like every manufacturer has their own little automatic squelch control trick. And I feel like this is one of the best ones I've ever played with. That just President seems to have figured it out. Their computer is better than other computers. Automatic SWR meter, so it does have SWR meter built into it, which is kind of a nice feature to have. Scan skip. Probably, if I was going to guess, means that you can program channels that it is not going to stop on, like channel 6. If you're doing a scan and you don't want to listen to the Super Bowl, well, hey, maybe get rid of 6 and 11, right? And that would definitely just narrow you down to regular folks. Not that there's nothing irregular about some of the guys on channel 6, but you know. And over here in the display, we do have a nice analog meter. It does have weather alert, which is cool. It does have those programmable emergency channels, which is great. No more 9 and 19. You can program those into anything you want. And then it has a beautiful multicolored setup there. You can see the 7-color display that it offers. And what's that right there? A USB as well. Nice. Engineered to be the best, I have no doubt. All right, let's get this thing out of the box. And we've got our #1 in CB radio, President. I don't think there's any doubt in that now. Like, is there any other company that's even making CB radios? You know, we talked about this when the first FM radio came out from President. I believe it was Cobra who filed long ago with the FCC to bring FM to the CB radio band, and they have yet to put out a single radio. So, something to think about. In fact, they got rid of their only sideband radio. So, I don't know what's going on there. Uniden, what have they come out with? One new radio in the last 5 years. And again, you know, when was the last time they updated their line? The 980 is getting real long in tooth here, but it's still hanging in there. Here on the manual, got a lot going on. Let's see how many pages in English we got here. 16 pages in English, and they mean it. There's probably a lot of stuff going on in those menus. So I'll have to go through some of that, but we have our ID here. So it does have built-in talkback. There's a lot of nice stuff that it's got going on here, so I'll have to read through that. And then, of course, the main radio. It's a Cobra 29 killer, at least the 2 was. I'm sure this one will be too. But if you look at it, it's almost more of a Cobra 25 size, maybe a little bit, maybe in between. Certainly not as long as the Cobra 29s were. What it is a DIN size. This is a DIN size. So when I had it in my truck, I had a double DIN outlet, and so I was just put like a cheapo, you know, MP3 radio above it, and then I had room for this. And even though it's a bottom firing speaker, I didn't find it to be annoying or a problem or muffled or whatever in my truck, so that's a great place to mount these things. And it looked really sharp. People always commented whenever they were riding with me that that was a nice setup there. So there it is, nice anodized aluminum case, bottom firing speaker. Look at the size of that heatsink. That is serious business right there. I like that. Power, PL259 connector for the antenna, external speaker, PA, and it even has Vox. So, and this is absurd, but because there's so many people who talk on cell phones or get distracted on personal devices, a lot of states now are moving away from allowing you to have handheld devices while in the car. I don't disagree with that. But as a result, they're wrapping up CB radio operators in the same thing, because they got, you know, guys with the hand mic not realizing I'm just keying down. It's not like it's a distraction compared to, you know, searching something on Google or texting. But, you know, they can't make exceptions, I guess, or it would have just been too much effort. So they've kind of come up with a way around that. So we have Vox. So you can use that too if you want to. Okay, our big old bracket here. Nice 3-pin power. Nice long cord on that. And it is a 6-pin, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, yep. And it has up down on there, so that's cool. I like that. And then we also have nice mic holder and mounting accessories there. I'm pretty sure, yeah, that's just a holder. So there's our whole kit there. There it is. All right, well, give me a second. I'm going to plug this thing in. We'll get it hooked up to a radio. I will go over some, not all, of the features and functions this radio has, and we'll do a channel band scan so you can hear the quality of it. All right, here we are. I've got it all plugged into the old Antron A99, which is still kicking 22 years later. And we'll fire it up, and you can see. Nice. Wow. Okay, so yeah. A lot of people on the radio today. Nice bright LED bulb there for that. I like that. Here's our color display. You can see we have beep turned on. We have AM mode turned on. And we'll just start over here with our buttons and knobs. Here's where our mic plugs in. Nice little rubber protective cover there hiding our USB. And we have our buttons and knobs here. This one being our on-off and volume control. Right, then over here we have our squelch all the way down, puts it on automatic squelch control. I have set it to manual, and I want to hear all the static and all the voices today. RF power, so why is that cool? Well, that's our available RF power out. You can mate this thing to a illegal in North America, but legal elsewhere, amplifier. If you wanted to hook this to like a you know, KL203 or whatever the RM203, you could do that, and this would be a way to automatically adjust the RF power so that you don't overdrive your amplifier. And then we have RF gain, we have mic gain, so if you want to add an external mic that is a powered mic, you could do that. And then of course here is our channel select, but it's also, if we push in and right, that's going to give us our menu system. So there is that as well. We do have a scan button, but so if I put this on automatic squelch and hit scan, we're going to scan until we find a strong signal, which I imagine will be 6. And who knows, maybe it'll go through a few times before it gets crazy, but you can see things are moving around today, right? Press it again. Push it again, and that turns your scan back off. We have AM and FM, so if I press this button here, now you can see we have moved to the FM band. Press it again and we go back to AM. Here we have manual switch, we have off, we have automatic noise limiter and noise blanker, and we also have a third position, which is automatic noise limiter, noise blanker, and high cut. I'm going to leave it up all the way on the top. Here are our emergency stations. They're programmed from the factory to 9 and 19. A lot going on in 19 right now. You can hear them all over the US. And then you take it back to that. But those are programmable. And then lastly, we have CB and PA. This does have a PA, so if you wanted to use this in a factory floor or at a gravel yard or something like that, totally could. And then we do have instant access to the weather bands.
Lows in the lower 50s.
Wow, nice.
Saturday, mostly sunny. Highs in the lower 70s. Radio man.
Very strong signal on the weather channel with this, so very strong weather circuitry on this one. Very nice. Okay, so I guess, yeah, let's go through.
It's not noise. If I let off and listen to some of there's lots of noise. But if you understand me, it's not noise. I'm talking.
There is a lot of activity. This is a great time to be into radios in general because the solar activity, which of course might wipe us out one day, but for right now, short of a EMP coming down here and just ruining the game altogether, there's a lot of solar flare activity, a lot of solar activity in general that is causing our atmosphere to become quite active. Skip, the bounce, the ability to talk long distance and hear long distance is affecting many of the bands, CB being part of that spectrum that is affected. So now is a great time to buy one of these and get to experience what it is that makes people want to play with these things, even when they're not talking locally. As you can set this thing up and listen to the world. Pretty much every channel has something going on. Okay, so let's go into some of the menu items you can play with here. And the very first thing you can change, look at this, we have orange. So if I wanted to, I can hit the button down here. I'm sorry, here's what I'm doing here. I'm moving up and down. I can change all this stuff. So if I hit color and then I hit it again, I can change through the colors, and let me see which one's working better. I think I'll go with the dark blue here, but I'll roll through all of them. The purple's pretty cool. Actually, I had it set to purple in my truck there, but green's a good one. Dark blue is showing up better on the camera, so we'll leave it there. Dimmer, go ahead, I can change that if I want to make it, if I'm driving a lot at night. Oh, I'm just changing the channel or the selections through the up-down button here. We'll turn that one all the way back up for right now. Key beep. That's probably driving everybody crazy, so we can turn that. And you can also change it using that, of course, so we'll turn off key beep. Roger beep. Well, of course, I got to have my Roger beep. I want to sound like I'm on the Apollo spaceships doing my thing here. Oh, look at these. We got some different choices. That's a cool one. That's a cool one. That's a okay one. That one's nice. I like that one. So there we go. Now when I key down, you can't hear it on this end, but you see the little symbol right there? That's telling the world that I do have my Roger beep turned on. Tone control, I can change it if I have too much bass, and I did use this when I won't change this, but I did use this when I had this in my truck because that downward facing speaker gave it a little bit too much bass, so I just used tone control to turn that off. And then we can change our emergency channel, so I'll go ahead and change that. And we're going to make that one 14 because that's our local station. 14, right? And that asking me if I want to make it AM, I do. I can change it to FM, but I'm going to leave it on AM. Someday, hopefully, we'll be able to do the FM gig. And then I'll leave emergency 2 at 19. Vox set, so if you're going to use Vox, if you live in a state that has to have that as a requirement or you're driving through states. And then SWR calibration, so this is, it's going to do this. And look, the old Antron, especially after good rain, which we got, I ain't happy. So this is not something I do a lot of talking on because of that. And then you can change the mic type. There are 2 different styles of mic if you're using the other one. PA, if you want to have your PA set up, you can do that as well. And then scan skip, I'm going to believe we can turn that to on, and then I could change that to, get rid of certain channels there. And then we have a reset. So a real quick walk through some of the many functions that it has. And then if you wait a few seconds, it'll go back to its standard channel. And there we're back. And so now, channel 14 and channel 19 instead of channel 9 and 19. Our color is set to blue. And we do have our Roger beep. Talkback is another feature, right? So if I change this to FM, I'll change it back to FM. If I press and hold, there's my talkback. How high do I want my talkback? I've got it turned on. Oh yeah. Hello. And now you can hear, when you are talking, you'll hear the talkback function. So think of radios back in the 90s having that function. That was pretty awesome. I was always a fan of that. All right, I'm going to turn to scan. I'm going to go to FM. We'll roll through the FM. I'm going to put squelch control back on. I'm going to change to FM, and we're going to scan and see. So far, I have had exactly one conversation on the FM band. It was Skip, but it was a solid FM contact. We were talking, both of us were talking on President radios because, well, President seems to be the only ones out there that are interested in getting this job done, and I'm happy they are. If you've watched some of my other videos on FM CB radios, the quality, the sound is a little bit better, and it also feels like the range is a little bit better. Perhaps it punches through because you're not getting as much terrestrial interference. I think it's cutting through a little bit better. So I'm kind of curious, those of you who have also adopted FM President radios, or if you've got one of these babies and you start talking on FM more consistently, what your opinion is on the range when you're talking FM. Well, I guess that's going to do it as it just goes around and does its thing. It's a great radio. I mean, it is a radio that I've been waiting for. I would say this is my second favorite radio from President. The Walker II, the Walker III now. It's just got all the bells and whistles. It has a good size. It has all the features laid out in the places you'd want them to be. You know, where a lot of stuff on their smaller radios, it packs it all in there, but everything is done off the menu. Where this one puts a lot of the things we always use still in old-fashioned switches and dials and knobs. Of course, we're still waiting for the President Corporation to come out with a sideband model. I have no doubt that at some point in the next 12 months, that'll probably happen. They've been slowly running out their new radios as they go up through. The Bill is now available with FM. Now the Walker, and I have no doubt that eventually they'll finish out the line. So it's just a matter of being patient. These all have to go through FCC approval, so you can't just say, oh, we'll just program this or add this circuit or whatever and ship it out. There is a process, and I give President all the credit in the world because they're actually taking the time to go through the process. So pretty cool. Thanks again to the President Corporation for sending this my way. I want you guys to tell me down below what car should this go into? What car should I put this into? The Bus or the Beetle? The Bus or the Beetle? I look forward to hearing the reasons why. Till next time, my friends, take care.